My friends, this is a great time to become a channel member. Every week now I'm posting uncensored videos exclusively for my channel members, along with custom emojis and live streams for members at the Arch-Villain level where you get to talk to me directly. Please consider supporting this channel by clicking the link in the video description and joining us in our fight to save pop culture. And also, check out our Patreon and Subscribe Star pages for exclusive content you won't find anywhere else, including Harvey Cthulhu's insane podcasts, photos of my vast toy collection, and members at the Legionnaire level receive a signed photo, membership card, and certificate signed by me. You'll find the Patreon link in the video description as well. Thanks for watching, my friends, and now on to the video. My friends, what you're about to see is a tale of attempted gaslighting gone wrong, a full court press to sell us something we didn't want in the first place, and a bizarre reversal that reminds us all that when it comes to Star Wars press releases, all is not always what it appears, and sometimes you don't even have to wait a week to see through it. Ah, Star Wars. You know, despite all the setbacks and disappointments and insults to fans all this time, I've been hoping that Star Wars would pull out of its death spiral for many years now. 5 years ago, they took a huge step in that direction with The Mandalorian, a show that, while not perfect, did seem to have a narrative thrust, a grounding in canon, and from time to time, even a sense of fun. Favreau had a plan across multiple series to reinvigorate and revive the franchise from the damage done to it by the sequel trilogy. A trilogy, incidentally, that starred the very character who's been in the news a lot this last week, Rey Palpatine. That's right, Palpatine. She was a Palpatine. Her grandfather was the Emperor, for God's sakes. She was not a Skywalker. And yet, oh, how the mainstream media were doing their best to ram it down our throats about how the only way forward for Star Wars is Rey. Rey is a new hope for the salvation of that galaxy far, far away. A new trilogy is being made, and Rey is the key to everything. Holy shit! It's like Gozer the Gozerian just returned, dogs and cats living together, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man rampaging, and everyone forgetting what a boring, uninspiring non-character Rey was in 3 movies that are only memorable because of how much damage they caused and how many opportunities they missed. Talk about mass hysteria! Indeed, a recent article in The Hollywood Reporter started out with the sentence, and I am not kidding here, "Forget the Death Star. The most coveted weapon in the Star Wars movie arsenal is the character of Rey Skywalker." To which I say, wow, because this is not one of my uncensored member videos. You know, there's crazy, and then there's madness, and then there's Lovecraftian levels of madness, and I think this latest media push proclaiming Rey to be Star Wars' most valuable cinematic aspect lies somewhere in the mountains of madness.
As an eldritch god imprisoned in a containment field in your underground base, I can attest to that. I've seen a lot of strange stuff in my infinite day, but yeah, this stuff about Rey kind of ranks up there. Isn't this the same Rey whose action figures have long been gathering dust on the discount shelves of Ollie's?
The same, Harvey. The same. Folks, I can't think of a single memorable line Rey said, a memorable moment of dramatic interest associated with her. She's the cinematic equivalent of empty calories, for God's sakes, and yet this is what they were pushing for? I mean, look at what the Hollywood Reporter tried to gaslight us all with in an article titled, "Star Wars Movies Race for Rey and the Future of the Franchise on the Big Screen." Quote, "Forget the Death Star. The most coveted weapon in the Star Wars movie arsenal is the character of Rey Skywalker. But Rey, the scavenger turned Jedi played by Daisy Ridley in the last 3 episode movies, is key to the franchise's next turn. There definitely is internal deliberation within Lucasfilm as to what to do with the heir to Skywalker next. She is the most valuable cinematic asset in some ways, maybe the only one Star Wars has right now. One source close to the franchise tells THR, unquote,
"Utter poppycock and rubbish. There was more of this kind of crazed hyperbole in the press doomcock, a lot more. And yet, strangely, Disney and Lucasfilm were silent on this matter and did nothing to confirm this Rey trilogy officially until they did something rather curious that seemed to derail the momentum of all this pro-Rey rhetoric.
That they did, O Skull of Calderon. If Disney was behind all of these articles proclaiming Rey as Star Wars' greatest cinematic asset in the future of the franchise, then surely they would have waited to do what they just did. Behold, my friends, a Rolling Stone article that appeared over the weekend titled, Star Wars Removes Rey-Focused Movie from 2026 Release Date. In other words, they yanked the Rey movie off of their calendar. Here are the details. Quote, the Star Wars Cinematic Universe has put yet another planned film on the back burner as a movie revolving around Daisy Ridley's Rey has been removed from its placeholder 2026 release date. The untitled movie, which would have seen the character from episodes 7, 8, and 9 continuing her journey as she builds a new Jedi Order, apparently free of Jedi because she never was a Jedi herself, was first announced at the Star Wars Celebration Europe event in April 2023. The film was later given a release date of December 18th, 2026. That's a long way away, folks, but apparently it wasn't long away enough. However, in the 18 months since it was announced, 18 months, think about that. The Charmin Obaid-Chinoy directed film is cycled through writers as original screenwriters Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson were replaced by Peaky Blinders writer Stephen Knight, who also left the project in October. No replacement was ever announced, and it's unclear if the Rey-focused film is still in development, unquote. Well, folks, let me just tell you this. If this big mainstream media blitz to push Rey as the future of Star Wars was officially coming from Disney, they would have confirmed that this announced trilogy was centered on Rey, and they definitely would not have yanked the Rey movie off their release schedule, quietly or not, at least not yet. If it needed to come off the schedule for whatever reason, they would have waited at least a month or so to do it publicly. This signals that wherever this Rey media blitz came from, it wasn't from the C-suite. So the whole Rey is the future of Star Wars thing? Looks like that was all Bantha Poodoo.
Well, hell, Doomcock, they may well do another Rey movie. Daisy Ridley is young enough, she'll be around a long time. But Mother Schmucker, they were really pushing her on us hard, man.
Yeah, no shit. On the other hand, a bunch of these articles did point out a grim truth about the possible future of the franchise moving forward. In that article, they continued, quote, if the franchise looks forward in its canon timeline, all those beloved characters, Luke, Leia, Vader, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Han, are dead or had their storylines wrapped in prequels or spin-offs. Rey, created in the post-Lucas era, is arguably the only entity with currency on the big screen now. The closet is a little bare, says another source, unquote.
In other words, better Rey than dead. They managed to kill off most of the Legacy Trilogy characters in the sequel trilogy, and Rey is all they have left?
Well, as another article in Forbes points out, titled, Disney Turns to Rey to Lead Star Wars Movies with Everyone Else Dead, quote, Disney appears to still be wandering in the wilderness when it comes to its plans for future Star Wars movies, with only The Mandalorian and Grogu, born out of a TV show, heading for theaters for sure. New reporting seems to focus on Rey as the potential savior of the Star Wars movie universe, which is being forced to lean less heavily into nostalgia with so much of the Skywalker area and time periods immediately adjacent to it being mined to death. The reason, of course, that everything now seems to be relying on Rey is because during the first 5 movies of the Disney era, they killed almost everyone else off. The big 3, Han, Luke, and Leia, are gone. Ben Solo also died in those films. Vader is dead. Palpatine is dead again. That leaves the central new trio of Poe, Finn, and Rey, which makes things complicated, as none of them are anywhere close to the level of iconic as the OG characters, unquote. Yes, my friends, that is the problem. And what is the solution? Hire tremendous writers, passionate writers. Create brand new characters with genuine conflicts of great interest to the audience. Put them in rollicking fun adventures free of awkward DEI messaging, and there you go. You've taken your first step into a larger world of profitability. Disney can certainly do it. The only question is, will they decide to do it? From the center of the earth, this is Victor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha